Welcome to the Create a Life You Love podcast, the go-to podcast for people who are called to make a positive impact through the power of coaching. You'll hear encouraging stories from coaches sharing their journeys and their lessons learned along the way, tips from top experts who help coaches thrive in their life and their business, and so much more. So if you're ready to create a business and a life of impact that you love, let's get started. Hello. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on today's episode of the Create a Life You Love podcast. I'm Chantal Cox. I'm an author, speaker, transformation neurocoach, and certified life purpose coach who saves purpose-driven coaches from feeling stuck and frustrated so that you can get off the hamster wheel and make the aligned impact that you're destined for without overwhelm and burnout.
Yay. And I'm Gwen White, a quantum human design specialist and certified virtual coach. Creative, highly sensitive introverts hire me because I empower them to monetize their passions using a system that brings together ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science, which helps them be the best version of themselves using some simple strategies and shifting narratives around what's possible. And before we dive in with the lovely Coach MarJean, I want to give a brief shout out to our sponsor, the Create a Life You Love membership, which is an active community of passionate, purpose-driven coaches who are up-leveling in the most powerful ways to increase their knowledge, their momentum, and their impact. So for more information and to apply, we invite you to check out createalifeyoulove.com coaching/membership today.
Absolutely. And this episode is being streamed live on Facebook and only Facebook. We have given up on Restream. So you don't have to give any special permissions, but please engage with us, share your comments and questions in the Create a Life You Love community Facebook group. And I believe we're going to get that in the chat here in a moment. And let's get started on our actual content tonight. Okay, so we're super excited to be here today with relationship marketing expert and positive mental attitude coach, MarJean Christiansen, also known as Coach MJ. Coach MJ helps her clients learn how to use Facebook to grow their business organically and stay out of Facebook jail through training and coaching services. And she also hosts a free monthly group coach-a-thon offering you a ringside seat to see what coaching can do for you and your business. So welcome, MarJean. We are so honored to have you on the show. How are you?
I am awesome, guys. I'm absolutely incredible.
Nice. It is so great to have you. So MarJean and I have actually known each other for about a year now. We went through a coaching certification program together. So I am especially excited to have you here, Coach MJ. And as we get started, I'd love for you to tell us a bit about your journey to creating a life you love through your work as a coach and relationship marketing expert, who you work with, what got you started, all the goodies.
Okay, well, it was 2019. I decided that when I retire from my day job, I wanted to have something to do. So I got certified as a life and business coach and started coaching. Graduated in December. I had coached 105 hours by then. So I was coaching pretty often while working my day job. And it wasn't until 2020 when COVID hit, and it really opened up that door for me because then I was working from home and I could work for me more often and I could do some training while I was working. So I was able to invest in myself in 2020 and bought some courses, got on some webinars, and even attended a conference with one of the companies that I represent, which is out of Texas, but I could never ever take time off to go to Texas to any of the conferences. So I was able to attend my first conference with one of the companies that I work for. So it just opened up all kinds of doors for me. And then I decided to retire in December of 2020. And I took my business full time in 2021 in January with the intentions of heading out on the road in my Class C RV that I purchased in February to continue with my coaching business and hang out with my dad, who just turned 96 in October of this year. And I haven't seen him for, I think it's almost 7 years now since I've seen him. And the week that I was getting ready to head out, I took my Virgin trip down to the beach to see my daughter for 3 days. And when I came home, I was in such excruciating pain. I couldn't move. I don't know what was going on. And I was pretty much down for about 3 days till I finally got to a chiropractor and he referred me to an orthopedic surgeon. In June, when I got there, they discovered I had 2 vertebrae compression fractures. So needless to say, I was not going anywhere. My camper was going to sit in the yard, and by October, I had 5 vertebrae compression fractures. So needless to say, I was absolutely devastated. And I call that my crash and burn of 2021.
Mm.
And I say that because there are so many entrepreneurs out there who are building a business and they're running into roadblocks. They're running into naysayers. They're running into no support from their spouse. And they just keep saying, well, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. Why should I do this? I'm going to give up. I'm going to give up. But if your passion is there and you have that desire to build that business, you will not give up. Yeah, we say it. I mean, I was even threatening to drive off a bridge in October because the pain was so excruciating. And it's like, if this is going to be my life in the future, I don't want it. But by Thanksgiving, I had finally came to that realization. A lot of it because of the trainings that we took in Evan Pagan's course in January, February, March, because we did a lot of what I call shadow work, diving deep within ourselves. The light bulb came on and said, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Coach MJ? You've got the power. You have the power. Why are you letting osteoporosis have your power? And I put my hand up and I said, osteoporosis, you no longer have power over me. Be gone. I am no longer going to allow you to control my life. And that's the first time that I could actually say that I could physically feel my body healing. And I just went on and continued on with that, doing the work, doing the mental attitude, doing the mind healing of my body. And by January, I was feeling so much better that I tried to come back to work, and I worked a little bit. And of course, some days I did too much, which threw me back 2 or 3 days. So I just took those baby steps and learned you have to listen to your body, do what your body tells you you need to do, whether it's rest, take it slow, but you never give up. And finally, in June, I was feeling so much better. I started networking and I started rebuilding my business. And I was able to launch my group coaching program again. I was able to launch my coaching programs and get some people into my coaching programs. And I did some master classes and I did some workshops. But January of 2022, I kicked off my group coaching program, the Coachathon that I had started in 2021 that I had to cancel. And so this year is the first year that we've had 12 coachathons.
Nice.
December 6th was the 12th coachathon. So we were celebrating with music when I opened up the doors for everybody to come on in. And I did a masterclass on passion, finding your passion. What's your passion? How many, you have many passions. And it just, my whole life has just been so much better now that I am on that healing road and that my body is being kind to me. I've had low days of pain. It's not very often I'm taking any pain medication at all right now. So I am just looking forward to an excellent 2023. And what I do is I'm helping the network marketers and the direct sales people learn how to use Facebook to build their business organically. And I'm teaching relationship marketing. Our world is so negative. Since we came out of COVID, it's vomiting negativity, and we need positivity. We need to turn our thoughts around into that positive mental attitude that helps build people up instead of getting sucked into that bad energy. Because if you even think about the word, you just want to cringe. But then when you think about positivity, goodness and grace and joy and love and happiness, that feels so much better. And it eludes that high energy frequency that we all need. And that's what I'm doing right now. That's my journey. And I'm so excited about what's going on in my business and the people that I've been able to help, the people that I share my journey with and inspire, and even those that are just in the audience watching. I get these comments, and I get these responses from people about, I'm just, you're just so energetic, you really inspire me, and that makes me feel good, because to know that just my journey itself is helping to inspire other entrepreneurs to keep going no matter what. That's what I live for.
It's amazing. What an amazing and powerful journey that you've been on and are going to continue on. I think a lot of the things that you've struggled with are, really going to be helpful to those people that you impact, helping them, whatever their um, barriers are, whether it's osteoporosis or something else, really be able to step into that power and say, you no longer have power over me. Like, I'm going to get past this. Just absolutely amazing story, MarJean. Um, so one of kind of our slogans is like creating a business and a life of impact that you love. And so we'd love to hear when you hear that phrase, like what comes up for you.
Well, living a life that impacts not only other people, but myself, because the life that I want to live is a life of joy and peace and positivity and encouragement, and just making it a better place for other people to live, be able to help those that are downtrodden when I start making the kind of money where I can start giving money to those agencies that really need that help, provide scholarships to clients who are, they've got the skill, they got the desire, they got the I want to learn how to do this, but they don't have the money. And that's one of the goals that I have, is to make sure that I have a fund where I can give scholarships away to those entrepreneurs who are going to really make a difference in the world we live in, and not the one that's just sitting there waiting for somebody to pay for them to take a course that they're not going to do anything with or not take any action. And that's what I'm really excited about, is working into that type of a platform moving forward in my business with what I do to help other people. And then when I get that entrepreneur who is struggling on Facebook and they have that first call with me and they go, when I booked this call with you, I really had no intentions of working with you. But
Mm.
after spending an hour with you, yes, I'm in. I want to work with you. I know you can help me because I can't believe you know this much. So that's really exciting for me as well. And that's living the life that I want to live, my dream life. And for other people, it might be a different dream life, but just making that difference in the world that I live in with those that I impact is very important to me.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And so, like, when you thinking back to when you were first getting started, what was your initial vision and how has that changed as you progressed?
Well, when I first started an online business and going online, I had been working for Avon for over 24 years when I moved to Florida. And that was, I think, maybe 5 years before I moved, they had started moving into the online space with websites, but I wasn't interested in doing that. So I never jumped into that part of it. And then after I empty nested in 2015, it's like, I gotta have something to do, you know. I got my bachelor's degree in 2010. I got my master's degree in accounting in 2012. And then 2015 comes along and my daughter's left. And now I got an empty nest. What am I going to do with my free time? So I jumped into another makeup company and started selling makeup again, but this time in the online space. So that's what I was intending to do. But as I started doing that and could see the people struggling on Facebook and struggling with Facebook, I decided that I want to learn more about Facebook and what is this thing called Facebook jail? How can I avoid it? I hadn't been in Facebook jail. I'd been warned a couple times, but how can I help so I can teach other people what not to do to stay out of Facebook jail? Because trust me, you don't want to know what to do to get into Facebook. Because if you're in Facebook jail, you're doing something wrong. But if you don't know what you're doing, then how can you get the help that you need? So you need to know what it is you could do that will put you there. So now if you know, well, if I do this, it's going to put me in Facebook jail, but I don't care. It's no big deal. I'm going to get a bunch of leads, so I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. And now you're blocked for 30 days. Maybe you've created some momentum. Yeah, you got those leads. What are you doing with them? How can you serve them? What do if you can't do what you're supposed to do on Facebook? So just to change that mindset for people of making sure that they're building a relationship with their audience rather than just getting numbers into their funnel or money in their bank account for a sale here and there. And I love helping people. I love teaching people. And so I kept thinking, okay, what am I going to do when I retire? Am I going to continue with this online space? And I had an opportunity when Facebook first launched the mentorship program that is in Facebook groups. And I got a message from Facebook saying, one of the groups I was in was, did you know that this Facebook group has a mentorship program? Would you like to become a member, a mentor in this Facebook group? And I looked at it and I clicked on the button. I go, yeah, I'd like to do that. And I looked at some of the other people that were doing mentorship in there. And I thought, I've got a degree in accounting. I've owned a business. I used to own a supper club in Illinois in my early 20s, so I know about business. I could help these online entrepreneurs or these people in this group. And I signed up, and that was my first real, what I call coaching groups, was when I was doing that before I ever went to coaching school, before I ever learned how to do it. And I discovered I loved doing it. So that's when I made that decision that when I retired, I was going to make sure that I got certified to be a coach from someplace. I started doing the work, checking it out and seeing all these high prices, to get certified, costs a lot of money. And I had the opportunity with this gal that I'd been following for a couple of years, and I got an email from her saying she was launching her coaching program, her coaching academy. And I said, yeah, I'm in, and the price was right. I jumped into it because it was like a real school, but we had semesters. We had classes we took 3 times a week. We had homework we had to do. We had lessons we had to turn in. And to me, that's the real learning venue, is when you're taught how to do something and then you implement it and then you show your results. So many places will give you, yeah, it's what they call self-education. You go in, you watch a video, and you're supposed to know what you're doing. But I wanted more than that. So I was very pleased when I found this opportunity to take that. And it was the best decision that I could ever have made in my life. And then it was the icing on the cake with this year's coaching program with Evan Pagan, because I got what I knew was happening, knew would be available to me in the original training that I had. I got more meat from that training that really helped me to be able to move my skill level up, add a bunch of tools to my toolbox so that I could serve more people in different ways rather than just the how-to part and the teaching, training, step by step. Let me show you, do this and you do that and you do this. So it was just, I just morphed, I guess I would have to say. I went from that online direct sale space into a whole new world of being able to help other people learn how to do it and be safe and grow their businesses, grow their mindset, grow their inner self, and discover the genius that's hidden within each and every one of the people that I work with, because that's what they discover. They get those aha moments.
Yeah. You're a natural born coach. And so, yes, you found programs that helped you really hone those skills and give you some tools in your toolbox to heighten that effectiveness. But yeah, you were always a natural coach, reaching out and trying to help people and teach people and help them find their way. So it's amazing.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It really does. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really interesting that you say that, Chantal, because I had a chance to work with MarJean just a little bit on human design, and she actually is truly a natural born guide for people. Her energy is perfectly suited for coaching.
So you hear that, people? You hear that, people? You've heard it from the human design expert. It is a natural.
Exactly. Yeah. Her energy is perfect for exactly what she does. Yeah. She's so aligned to what she's doing. And I've actually experienced your coaching, MarJean, firsthand. I've been on a call with you, and I had the opportunity to really learn some amazing Facebook strategies. And I've been on Facebook for years, but I had no idea about some of the things that, you shared with me. I'd never used it for business, frankly. So it was a total eye opener to just get on that call with you. And so I'd love for you to share how someone who's frankly just getting started using Facebook to build their brand and grow their business, how they should use Facebook and maybe how they shouldn't use Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, with Facebook, you have to know the platform. And what I always highly recommend is do your homework. If you don't want to jump into my coaching program where you can get the hands-on teaching trainings, learn your platform. It's just like people that want to do Facebook Live. What tools do you use when you do Facebook Live? Most people use their cell phone. learn how to use your cell phone. It's your tool. Facebook is a tool. So learn that platform, do your homework, get in there, go to the different settings, look at the different settings, make sure that your settings are set so you're protecting you. And the thing that Facebook has is they have the help section. So if you click on the help button, it'll open up. And there is an area in there that you can actually go to where when you work on it, they'll walk you through the recommendations that they have. They don't necessarily give you what I give you is the video step by step. You go here, you open this, you open that, but they do give you the basic information that you need to know how to protect yourself. Because if you're not protecting yourself on Facebook and you get hacked because you didn't get to that point in your idea about Facebook where, do I have my password protected? Do I have authentication? Do I have dual verification? And you give your password to somebody and you get hacked, they're not going to help you because you violated Facebook guidelines. And you need to know what Facebook guidelines are because they're very specific about where you can do certain things and where you should not be doing certain things, such as using your personal profile, which is actually your primary real estate, because your personal profile is your home. That's why there's a house on the toolbar. That's your home on Facebook. And you have to have a profile account to have a Facebook account. You can't say, well, I'm just going to set up a business page so I can do this, this, and this. No, you have to have an account. That's your home. That's your Facebook. Now you can build a business page, even if you never use your profile, or you can build a group. But you have to have a personal profile. And that's where you've got to make sure that that is secure, that people can't get in there and hack your account and get your password and get into all of your other things. And the second thing that I always highly recommend is make sure that your security is set with the mindset of, yes, Facebook is a social platform. A lot of people come on Facebook because they want to be social. They want to hang out with their college friends, their high school friends, their families, their neighborhood, their local neighborhood. But if you're not securing your account, that's where you can get hacked and get people, they just be nasty. And don't allow that. You can control who you talk to and you will attract the way that you behave. So if you behave in a negative manner on Facebook, that's what you're going to attract. It's a social place. Be there to build relationships. Be there to encourage one another. Don't be there to condemn this person because they did this, or condemn that person because they treated somebody this way. We should not be judging other people. God is the only one that's allowed to judge us. So leave the judging to him. And as long as we don't fuel those flames, they're going to start to get snuffed out and it's going to stop happening. And then it's going to be a really pleasant place to be. It's kind of like we each have our own little bubble, our own little space in the universe. We can choose what we want allowed into that bubble. And if we don't want that negativity and we say, no, you're not welcome here. You got that mental thought that came from childhood, that false belief that you can never make anything of yourself. No, that's not my belief. That's somebody else's. No, you're not welcome here, and you block it. Like I always say, look at it as you're inside a bubble and you have this stuff coming at you. You choose what you want to allow in, but you block what you don't want to allow in. And eventually you will find your space on Facebook is a pleasant, fun, exciting place to be, because you've set that stage and you have taken the action steps to keep people from harming you. There is a block button on Facebook where you can block people that you don't want bothering you. And I always have trouble with some people that say, well, it's my aunt. She comes on all the time and she just says, whatever, being critical or whatever. I said, block her. Well, if I do that, then I'm going to have the whole family after me. It's like, who cares? Would you rather have your entire family snarking at you, or would you rather live in a peaceful place? You have to make your choices. And so it's like being any place else. If it's not a peaceful place, make it a peaceful place. Those are just kind of the basic things. Many people think, well, I need everybody to know who I am. I need everybody to know where I'm at. And if you go in, you say, okay, Gwen is at Kentucky Fried Chicken on Main Street, you know, whatever. Don't do that. Or they know she lives in Montana and she's in Colorado and she's got, I'm in Colorado, I'll be here for 2 weeks. Light bulb, uh-oh, guess what? She comes home, her house is emptied out because she just announced to the world, I'm not here. It's vacant, it's empty. So don't do those things. That's not, that's part of pride. That's not something that you should be telling the world. Yeah, you go, you come home, now put it up there that I was at, and you can do the location of where you were at. But that was a month ago, or that was a year ago, or whatever. They don't know that. But still, even when you do that, you could find somebody out there stalking your house or whatever, and you're going, why is that car been sitting there for 2 days? What's going on? Well, because you put on Facebook that you were in Colorado and that, well, that was there a month ago. Doesn't matter. You put it up there today or whatever, they're assuming you're not home because you put it on social media. So protect yourself. Be smart about what you do. Have fun and lay out an environment that when they see that, when you go to your home on Facebook, the house, that it's a pleasant place for people to want to come and visit, that they would willingly knock on your door to see if you're home and say, welcome to the neighborhood, here's a dish of cookies, and not a yard full of junk, a yard full of everybody else's stuff. You know, the stinky house down the street. No, make it a beautiful place for people to want to come and see you and hang out with you and encourage you. Because if you are an encourager, they're going to come and want to encourage you too.
I love that. I love the analogy to, yeah, making your profile essentially a welcoming place like you would make your home, and also protecting it from people you don't necessarily want in there. So learning how to use the features within
Mhm.
Facebook. And I remember, you know, when Facebook started, check-ins were such a big deal. But yeah, it's, you know, it's probably not a good idea to use that feature anymore. Do they even have check-ins still? I'm sure they do.
Yeah,
but-
I've got a client that uses it and I had mentioned it to her the other day and she says, oh, that was a trip I took a while back. And I go, okay, but do you recognize the idea that they don't know that and there still could be coming to stake out your house because you've made an announcement that you're not there, even though that happened, you know. So you're just trying to give people the idea of just to think about the possibilities. And the other
Yeah.
thing too is you've got so much identity theft on the internet. And Facebook is a website that people can hack. So if you've got your birth date, month and year, you've got the year you graduated from high school on your profile. Maybe you've got the year you graduated from college on your profile. You've got the I currently live in. Maybe, you know, you've got your address somewhere. You've got your phone number on there. Those are just the few pieces of content that an identity theft person needs to go out on the dark web, find your information, and open up a bank account, get a loan, buy a house in your name, but it's not you, it's somebody else. So we have to be remembering we need to protect ourselves on the internet as well, because it's a place that so many people have access to, and they're not always good, respectful, honest people. So just protect yourself. Why is it so important that a stranger comes to your home on Facebook to know where you went to school, what year you were born in, what year you graduated from high school or college? Why is that important information? If you're an entrepreneur, even if you're not an entrepreneur, it's not relevant. But again, that's that pride factor where we want to be puffed up. We want everybody to know I went to this college, I graduated at this time, and I whatever. No, that's not a good thing to do because you're just hurting yourself. And people really
Wonder,
don't care.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder how much of that is left over from the initial start of Facebook. Because it came out when I was like junior, senior of college, and I was living in the dorms as an RA, and all the freshmen were like, Facebook, Facebook. And I'm like, what are these kids even talking about? Like, I don't even have time for that, whatever. And it wasn't till one of my co-RAs was like, well, where'd you go to school? And so I told him the international school in the Netherlands that I graduated from, and he was able to put it in. And then I was able to see people that, I mean, back then, like the internet was a thing and email was a thing, but we were not communicating. I didn't even have a cell phone back then.
Yeah.
So it's not the way it was now. And so it's exciting to see like, oh my gosh, she got married and like, so, but you couldn't connect with those people if you didn't. And back then it was only for college students. Like if you didn't have a college campus email, you couldn't get on Facebook, and then it slowly expanded. So I
Yeah.
wonder how much of that's left over from the initial start, because man, has it I mean, is it even really called Facebook anymore? Are we supposed to be calling it Meta? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Right.
They haven't changed the name yet. I don't know that they ever will,
Yeah.
as far as it being Facebook, because of that history, that brand. But it's hard to say, but still, I mean, one of the people that I'm speaking of that has all this stuff on her personal profile, she's either as old as I am. If she's not, she's maybe a little bit younger. She's in her 60s or her 70s. And when I talked to her about cleaning that up, she's like, well, I need people to know that I did this. I need people to know that I did that. Okay,
Interesting.
whatever, but do you realize you're putting yourself at risk here,
Yeah.
And
Good
yeah,
point.
I had a friend of mine who lives in New Zealand. He sent me a message and he said, hey, I might need your help. I've got a client who approached me and said that she's been hacked on Facebook and she can't get into her account. And I said, okay, so what happened? He goes, well, she got a message saying, she said, okay, get this. This is absolutely ridiculous. She gets a message from Facebook saying, we need your password so you can get into Facebook. No, mind you, she's on Facebook. Okay. She gets a message that claims to be Facebook saying, we need your password to get you in or whatever. So she gives them the password. Next thing she knows, she can't get into her account because it wasn't Facebook.
Right.
It was the
Clearly.
hackers. Facebook has even, I've seen pop-ups every once in a while where Facebook will pop up and say, please be notified that there are people that are using our logo. You cannot tell this is not us, and they're sending messages that they're us and it's not. Be aware, because Facebook would never contact you that way, number one. Nor would they ask you for a password when you're on Facebook, for Facebook. I mean, it's like, and I told them, I said, unfortunately, since she gave them the password, Facebook won't help her anyway. So, and that's the problem. And there had been a lot of that going on this year where I've got people, one of the gals that's in my Facebook group, she sent me a message and she said, she got a message in Messenger from her uncle. Some link or something, those links that are going around that says, is this you in this video? I looked at it and I thought it was you. And it's just a link. And then they go, I don't know, let me open it up and see if it's me. Guess what?
Bad idea.
They got hacked. They lost
Exactly.
their password. They got changed. They can't get into their account. And I talked to the gal and she said, it looked like it came from my uncle. I said, I don't care who they say they are. If that link in Messenger doesn't have a preview of the content that you're going to be watching or looking at, do not click on it. I don't care if it was your mother. I don't care if it was your sister. I don't care who they claim to be. Do not do that. Go to their personal profile is what I recommend. Go to their profile. Go to their Messenger from their profile. And if it was your uncle, it would be there. But it wasn't. Because Messenger is a standalone app as well as part of Facebook. And now with Meta, Facebook is pushing out, they want you to use that Messenger app, okay? And I got me a new computer here. It's a Windows 11 computer, and 2 weeks ago, I was in Messenger and it pops up, download the Messenger app. Well, I don't normally do that, I just use Messenger in Facebook. So I downloaded the Messenger app. So now when I go into Messenger, it opens up a whole new tab all by itself. So I can see everybody. It used to be you could click on see all in Messenger. I think that message is gone now. So they want you to download the Messenger app. So now I've got this tab that popped up that was Messenger. So when I was working in Messenger, everybody is there. I don't have to keep changing or hunting or whatever. Then my computer, when I'm on Facebook, the Facebook tab was saying you're out of memory or something, and it goes blank.
Hmm.
And I go, okay, so I close it, open the tab back up. This happened like for about a week straight. So I went to Google, my friend Google. Google is my best friend, along with YouTube.
Mhm.
And don't tell Facebook. And I searched for
Your
it.
secret safe with us.
We're on Facebook, go online.
They're listening.
So the message
Hopefully
came
nobody
back
says
that,
anything.
and it said that this is a bug in Windows 11. When Microsoft is aware of it,
Lovely.
hopefully they'll have a fix for it soon. But in the meantime, there's one thing you can do, and it gave me the suggestions. It says if you do this and this happens, then it's a hardware problem.
Mhm.
If you do this and this happens, then it's the bug. So I did what they told me to do, and it didn't say it was a hardware problem, but I do know for a fact that it was in relationship to me downloading that Messenger app.
Yeah, it sounds
That's
like,
what I did.
yeah, Windows 11 and your Messenger app may have a little miscommunication.
So guess what I
But
did?
that always
I
happens.
uninstalled the Messenger app. It has not happened since.
Well, there you go.
So there, and I can see from the past since COVID, the past 2 years of Messenger, because Messenger is a standalone app as well as a part of Facebook, that there's people that are not on Facebook coming in on Messenger. Guess what? It's separate, but they're hacking. And that's where I think that's where all the hacking is coming from, because they go to your personal profile. If your friends are not hidden from the public, only you can see them. They download your friends list, they copy your profile photo, they create a fake profile, and then they send messages in Messenger to all your friends with these links, and or they send friend requests to all your friends because you want to be their friend when you're already their friend. It's like people just, they don't pay attention, they don't think, and they know that. So as soon as I get a message from Chantal saying I want to be your friend, of course I know I'm her friend. It's like, wait a minute, no. So I immediately go to her profile and I check Messenger and I send her a message, or I put it on the pro, say you might have gotten hacked, you need to check if her friends list is not hidden. If I can see your friends list, I'll send you a message and say it looks like you might have gotten hacked. I got a friend request from you, we're already friends, you need to change your password right now. You need to log off of all your tools that you logged into and re-log in with your new password immediately, because
Good
it happens
advice.
so fast. And make sure you hide your friends. And that's how they're getting into people's accounts, is using Messenger.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
but-
all good, very good tips.
Very, very good. I'm looking at the time here, and I want to make sure that we have a little bit of time to touch on how you specialize in choosing a positive mental attitude. So how do you help your clients when they're struggling with their mindset, and how does that help you with your personal and business growth?
Well, I have made a commitment to Napoleon Hill's positive mental attitude, and we did a study on it in my Facebook group, and we did a challenge. It was Gwen participated in the PMA challenge, and it was designed for everybody to make sure that they're creating positive content on their profile everywhere that they're doing anything. And they were challenged to do this and then to produce the product that they actually created, whether it be Facebook Live or just a post or content. And as I'm working with people and as I'm prospecting on Facebook, I always try to leave a positive comment everywhere, an encouraging comment, something that's uplifting to someone. If someone's downhearted and hurting, lift an encouraging message to them. Don't just send them a care button, and that's what people will do. They'll just like, well, this person needs a little bit of love, so I'm just gonna hit that care button. No, they need to hear from you too. They don't know who you are, but that's okay. They still need that encouragement, and people really resonate when they see that private positive message from this person that they don't even know. And that's what I do. And then when I'm working with my clients, if there's something in their conversation that they're saying that has a negative connotation to it, the one thing that I really, that bugs the out of me, or the jeebies out of me, is, I'll try. Okay, I'm gonna
Mm.
try. How about you will do it? Let's turn that around. What does, I'm gonna try to contact 10 people this week. How does I will contact 10 people this week? How does that feel? The I will feels a whole lot better than I'm gonna try. And the other word that's getting to me lately is hope.
Mm.
Hope has a place for when it needs to be placed. But when I suggest or recommend that you're in December and you have a line of jewelry that you really, 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 really need to sell because you want to have some money to buy Christmas presents for your children this year, why not do a series of reels with your jewelry looking like it's hanging from a Christmas tree or from a piece of garland or something, and put it up there and put it in stories and put it on your business page, because business page stories and reels go public, whereas personal private, or your home on the internet, your profile stories only goes to your followers. Why not do it that, put it on your business page, put it on your profile, do reels, do stories. And then she does Instagram. And then she goes, well, I've got a lot of children in the house and they won't be quiet if, won't be able to do that. Well, reels is a video and you don't have to have sound with reels. You can put some music on there and drop a few words on there, And so finally it was like, okay, I hope I can. I hope I can. I hope I can find time. And it's like, no, it should be, I will find that little window. How long does it take to do a reel? How long does it take to do a story? What? 15 seconds, I think, is the videos for stories, right?
Right.
15 seconds. You can't tell me you can't find 15 seconds? You're gonna hope you can find 15 seconds, so that's the other word. But I think a lot of people don't recognize that that's coming from the subconscious, and you're not consciously even having that thought. You're just in autopilot. You're just making a statement. You don't even mean a thing by it. It doesn't mean anything to you, and you have no intentions of following through. So, that being cautious of the words that we're actually using and paying attention to how they feel, how they make us feel, is the result you're going to get. So if it doesn't make you feel good, you're probably not going to get good results. So why keep doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the whole idea of being on autopilot and the language we use, we're conditioned to use certain language. And, oftentimes, particularly as women, we don't want to come across too assertive. We feel like that may be taken as bossy or in some negative light, as opposed to it being empowering and feeling the power of the word I will. And, and I am being the two most powerful words, I think, in the English language. I am. And so, that's really an amazing shift, I think, and it's such a small one, and yet so incredibly powerful.
Exactly. And I think once people start just recognizing those few words that have a negative feel to them and choosing to change them, they get that empowered feeling and they want more of it. So then they start doing more and more and more of that positive energy, that positive thought. And Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's been my savior with me learning how to heal my body with my mind. And because he's the neuroscientist, that recognizes that we live in our subconscious, that we need to consciously be conscious of not living in our subconscious, and how quickly we can change our brain just by a thought. And I'm reading one of his books, and he said he's got this little thing, he says, okay, you do this. He writes it down. You do little finger, ring finger, thumb, pointy finger, what is it? Index finger, ring finger, middle finger. You do little finger, index, ring, little finger, pointer, ring finger, in little finger, middle finger. And he's just, you just that and says do that, several times. And then now you close your eyes and you see your hand in your mind and you see the pattern that he had written out on that piece of paper that you're supposed to be doing. And now you're seeing it in your mind and you're doing that. You're doing that action in your mind. That's how fast we can connect our subconscious to our conscious so that our consciousness is controlling. And it's amazing that people don't even recognize the little bit of time that it takes to purposefully choose what we want to think about rather than what is on the movie playing in our head.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we could talk about Joe Dispenza all
Oh,
night, I'm
yeah.
sure. And yeah, I love talking about this stuff. But we've just got a little time left and I want to hear a little bit about Coachathon.
Okay, well, my monthly coachathon is a event where you come into the Zoom room, it's a group event. So I'm the host and we have however many come. We do it the first Tuesday of every month at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to move into 2023 I'm going to have a specific topic that we're going to be focusing on each month. And I'm going to do it's kind of like a mini masterclass, maybe 10-15 minute masterclass, maybe 30-minute masterclass presentation on that subject matter, and then have discussion and conversation over that topic with, if somebody is in that place and they need a hot seat or they want to share or whatever, that's what we'll do. And December, we did a masterclass on passion. And so I did the masterclass, went over passion, why it's important, and how you can discover your passions, and that it's something that every entrepreneur should know what their passions are. And it went for about 45 minutes. And then I said, okay, does anybody want to talk about it? Do you have any ideas? And just kind of gave them a little bit of a couple seconds or whatever to just think about what's going on. And it looked like we were going to close out the night. And next thing you know, I got one of the gals that was with us. She was having trouble with her throat, so she didn't want to be on voice. So over in the chat, we see this chat coming up. Oh, okay. And then somebody else went on mic, and we had a discussion for 30 minutes about the subject matter. So I'm going to be taking whatever topic I have for that month is going to set the topic for my Focus on Facebook group. So now on the Focus on Facebook group, there's content in there, more detailed content on how to find your passions and write them out, what to do with them. And then I'm going to carry that through into more detailed for the month in my Facebook group to give more clarity and more meat, I guess I would have to say, for that topic for that month. So it's going to be a different topic every single month.
Great idea.
And it kind of segues into the actual content you get from coaching with me, where when you coach with me, you get more in-depth training and connection as opposed to what you get on the Coachathon and in my Facebook group.
Right.
Love
Gives
it.
you a taste. Very
Yeah.
cool. That's a great idea. I really love this.
Absolutely. So, while we're on the topic, how can people connect with you and how can people register for the monthly group coachathons?
Did I send you guys my Linktree link?
Yes,
did
and I'll
indeed.
get it I'm putting it in the chat right now,
Okay.
and we'll have it in the show notes. But if you will say it
Okay.
too, since podcast is an audio, someone
Okay.
might be driving or something like that.
Okay, yep. My Linktree link has access to everything that I'm doing. And then if you go to my personal profile and you can search for MarJean Christiansen, you probably can even search for Coach MarJean and find me, I'm not sure, but on my personal profile, my Linktree link is there. And then on my cover page, when you click on my cover page, it'll open up to a link for you to register for the Coachathon. It opens up for a link for you to book a call. And I've kicked off what I call my Jumpstart program, which is a 5-week program designed to help you to, let's say you've been kind of stale or kind of like just floating along at this level for a month or two or whatever, and it's designed to help you to get you to that next step. It's not a quantum leap. And when I say quantum leap, I say a giant leap, because quantum leaps can be like this as well. but it's to lead you to that next level, that next stage that you need to get to or want to get to in 5 weeks, which is technically just part of my 90-day program. My 90-day program is a 3-month program. So, and it gives people the opportunity to get into the jump start to see what they can do and where they can go. And if they are happy with where they're going and they want to do more, they can get into the other 2 months of the 90-day program at a
Nice.
discounted rate. So it just kind of gives people an opportunity to learn how to get a chance to work with me and then make that decision if they need to continue and move forward, or they can come in for 5 weeks and move along for 6 months or whatever and jump back in again for another 5-week, time to get them, just moving them right along nice and smoothly, instead of, so many people think they have to make these huge jumps. And I learned myself this year that I wasn't quite sure of my growth, my mental growth, as well as my mind growth, and my skill level growth, until I took some courses and, I was like, I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and my skill level is right where it's supposed to be, that it does not need to be any higher for me to keep moving forward. And I think sometimes we need to know that, because sometimes we think we're not doing enough when we are doing just what we need to be doing for where we're at right now. And that's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And so once again, people can find MarJean at Linktree/Coach MarJean. Of course, find her on Facebook, which is her home and her area of expertise. So you can find her at MarJean Christiansen by searching. And then the Coachathon is at coachathon.now.site. So by all means, check those out and get a taste of MarJean and how she helps people. And we would definitely want to thank you again, MarJean, for being with us today. I know our listeners have really enjoyed what you've brought to share with them. You've really covered a lot of territory in a short amount of time. So really,
well, thank
very
you so much.
special.
It's always an honor to be able to hang out with you guys.
Thanks. Well, thank you.
I really
And speaking
appreciate
of,
what you guys are doing.
thank you very much, MarJean. Likewise. And speaking of our listeners, we would love to poll them, find out what their takeaways were today, what value they received from this episode. So please share your comments and, of course, any questions you may have in our Facebook community. And then please share the episode with anyone you feel would benefit. And we'd also love it if you'd leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/CALYL. Always appreciated. You can quickly and easily leave a review from your mobile device by grabbing the link in the show notes.
Absolutely. So next week, we're super excited to welcome a previous guest back. Her name is Julie Eisenman. She's a speaker and inspirational coach. Her and I met in person in Denver pre-COVID, and she's a member in our membership, and that she's just a delight to be around. Very dynamic, very hilarious. The last time she was on, my mom happened to tune in and was just cracking up. So definitely don't want to miss that. Julie shares hope and laughter through her own tragedies turned into triumphs in order to help wounded people get past their pain and begin to heal. So definitely come hang out with us again next week for our last live podcast interview of 2022.
Absolutely. Yes. We look forward to sharing all that. So be sure to tune in. And of course, you can find us live every Tuesday here in the Facebook community, Create a Life You Love, or catch all our episodes wherever you listen to your podcast and on YouTube.
Awesome. Same time, same place next week, everybody. Enjoy the journey. Thank you for listening to the Create a Life You Love podcast. We would love to hear from you about your biggest takeaways. Share them with us on Facebook or Instagram at Create a Life You Love Coaching. If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. If you're ready to build aligned and sustainable momentum without overwhelm and burnout, we invite you to apply for the Create a Life You Love membership on our website, createalifeyoulovecoaching.com/membership. That's it for now. Enjoy the journey.